Really?
I'll wait for the ball, shall I?
Yeah. London.
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch.
Oh, yeah, definitely. No, the ball. Welcome to Quiz Kiwamia. I'm trying to stay enthusiastic. 4 days in a row I've gone, Quiz Kiwamia. I'm still doing my best. Of course, we're called Quiz Kiwamia because we're named after Ipswich town legend, Chris Kiwamia. Sounds a little bit like Quiz, the start bit, and we like his surname. I mean, it's as far as it goes, really. We're not that smart down here at Fan TV. Talking of Fan TV, my boss is on the phone again. He's on the chat, and that's an important thing. If you want to talk to us here on the show, you need to make sure you download the Fan TV app. It's the only place in which you can interact. It's the only place you can chat. It's the only place you can give yourself a chance at winning some great prizes. This week, for example, we're going to give away a computer game of your choice. In the future, we've got some bigger prizes to come. We've got a bit of fashion on the offer, some watches maybe, computer consoles once we add it up and we do really, really big shows. So yeah, so the big thing, the most important thing is that you're on the app, you're competing here. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, if you're on any other platform and you're trying to compete, you're trying to take part, we're only going to pay attention here in the Fan TV app, which at the moment is only iOS. Apologies for that, Android users. The Android is coming. We think, I shouldn't say it, unofficially, as early as next week. So stay tuned. We'll let you know as soon as that happens. But anyway, rewind. Last night, my boss, Railroad End, you can see him in the chat yourself, asked me for a lead song. Because he was the boss, I kind of felt obliged. He knows I'm a Leeds fan. I knew it was a dare. But I feel that if I do this again, it's just going to keep going on. It'll never end. So I'm going to dodge it this time and risk my job and hope that I can get away with it. The poll today Let's have a look for myself. Will a British team win the Champions League? 77% of you say no, which is really interesting to me because they're off to a great start. They've got to be the favourites, maybe not the favourites actually when it comes to Chelsea, Barca, but all the others, they've got to be the favourites to go through now. They're in a really, really good position. So for my money, I was expecting the 23% of you it was just 23% of you that said yes, to have been notched up a little bit. It's an interesting one. We'll have another quiz soon, midway through the show, so stay tuned for that. We'll have another chat later on. It's, I mean, you're pretty used to this. I just try and talk for as much as I can at the top of these shows. So those guys that have had the notifications, those guys that have seen this show for the first time on Facebook or YouTube or wherever they are, have the chance to open the app or download the app so that they can log in and have the same opportunities to win these great prizes as you guys that are currently already watching do yourselves. Railroad End, shame on you. I might not be here tomorrow. I might not be the same person sat in this chair. It depends how seriously he was talking when he said, give us a lead song. So, let's see if I can find something to talk about. As I say, the Fan TV Live app is the only place that we're going to pay attention to what you're saying. If you want to compete, if you want to take part in the polls, if you want to give yourself a chance at winning those great prizes that are on offer, you need to download the Fan TV Live app, which at the moment is only on the iOS store. Android is coming soon. It's in little writing down here. Perhaps as soon as next week, but that's unofficial. Again, it's something that my boss would give me a hard time for. So yeah, check it out. Download the app. All the other great Fan TV shows are on that same platform. It's the best place to watch. It's the only place to interact. It's the best place to be part of this community, which is Fan TV. Meanwhile, if you do like the app, and a few of you have taken part in the in-app questionnaires and feedback forms that we ask you to fill out, we know that you like it. We know that you enjoy it. So if you get the chance, we'd really appreciate it if you could jump on the Apple Store and give us a 5 out of 5 rating. If you say something nice, if you talk about how attractive I am and what a great job I'm doing, then I might even read it out tomorrow. Quick look at the chat. A few comments coming in. Let's move on to the first question. Hopefully there's a few of you that have had a chance to get in. It's a few minutes after 5. Oh, another worthwhile thing to mention is that we were having a chat in the office, and I also want to hear you sing the lead song. If you come back tomorrow, maybe I'll sing a lead song tomorrow. We were having a chat in the office, and we felt there was a bit of copying and pasting going on. We thought that one of you was getting a correct answer, and then picking up on that straight away and just repeating yourselves. And then another person was repeating themselves again after that. So we've changed the format a little bit. When we get to the question, I'll update you on the new rules. There's a way in which you can earn more points just by taking the leap of faith and being the first person to risk an answer, risk your final answer, and go for it. But in the meantime, I'm talking rubbish. In a way to waste some time, in 2013, the UEFA Champions League final took place at Wembley between Bayern and Dortmund. There were some good players in that Munich team. They won 2-1 to win the Champions League. I want you to see how many of that starting 11 you can name. So put your guesses in on the app. And when you get them right, I've got it written down on a bit of paper here, very scientifically. I'll let you know that you're correct. We'll try and fill these out, and then I'll update you with the correct answer at the end. Wembley Stadium. It's a nice stadium. It's like a spaceship has landed, but there's still a big part of me which really misses the old Twin Towers and all the history that was there previously. I've kind of got that relationship with a lot of football stadiums in the past. Highbury was another one. You'll never beat like that old-fashioned classic stadium that was there for so many years. Yes, Emirates has arrived, and again, it's like another spaceship. Again, it brings in loads of revenue away from the matches themselves. But yeah, there's just something about those old stadiums, those tight, those close stadiums. I think that Liverpool have done a really good job of maintaining that, but still expanding and giving themselves the best chance that they can to to take some revenues away from match day. Everton's another one, staying in Liverpool. St James's Park is obviously fantastic. Perhaps something that's a bit different is are the plans that Chelsea have to Stamford Bridge. I mean, if you haven't seen those, it's like some kind of Greco-Roman new design, and it's really worth checking out if you get the chance. It's really, really cool. So none of you are coming in on this. Perhaps it's a little bit too difficult. The goalkeeper for Munich versus Dortmund should perhaps have been an obvious one. I'm trying to think myself. I'm going to check. The guy in the number 10 role is an obvious one. Guy on the wing is an obvious one. These are world-class players. One of the best teams of recent years. I mean, I guess you have to be pretty good to win the Champions League. Osel and Theo, back for some more. Thanks for coming back, mate. You've gone for Subotic. He was playing for Dortmund. Hummels. Did I say it right? You've gone for the Dortmund players. Did I ask you for the Dortmund players? I was meant to be asking you for the Munich players. But seeing as though I messed it up, I'll tell you that Subotic, Hummels, Piszczek. Piszczek's a great name. I always think it sounds a little bit like opening a can of Coca-Cola. Piszczek. Yeah, I've not got many hobbies. Royce, that's another one. And yeah, you put Gundogan, but I'm pretty sure you mean Gundogan, who, yeah, all those guys were there and all of them were playing. But back to the question that I was actually asking you. I don't know what I actually said. Half the time I don't know what I'm talking about during these shows. I'm looking for the Munich guys, the guys that played for Bayern and won the Champions League trophy on that day. Any ideas? Maybe it is a bit tricky. Oslo and Theo, if you're the only person online, you're gonna laugh all the way to the bank here and potentially take home a prize tomorrow. There's always been plenty of competition up until now, but it seems a bit quiet. Zigaget last night took home more points than anyone else, but if you're without competition, yeah, I must have said the wrong team. I must have said Dortmund. Thank you, Bjorn. Now we're talking. Neuer, Lahm, Boateng, Martinez, Alaba, Xavi Alonso. No Xavi Alonso. No Cruz. You got the defence right. Ribery, Robben, Lewandowski, and Muller. Martel, my final answer. You're learning. You know the rules, but this isn't the one we're playing for games just yet. You've gone for Neuer, Lahm, Boateng, Dante, Alaba, Martinez, Schweinsteiger, Robben, Muller, Ribery, and Mandzukic. And you, Martel, 230, are correct. Here they are. It was a pretty good team. And here is the first change to the format today. The first question I'm going to ask you, for 5 points, I already mentioned that Munich won 2-1 on that day. Who scored the second goal after 89 minutes? I just want, it's the first answer. The first person that comes in with the correct one of these players takes home 5 points and adds that number to their total. You need to go with my final answer is... No, Ant-Man's drunk again. You need to go with my final answer is, followed by whoever you think scored that second goal after 89 minutes to give Munich the Champions League trophy in this all-German tie. Oslo and Theo, Robin. It's a good guess, but are you prepared to put it as my final answer? This is the name of the game, mate. Anyone out there that's going to take that? Yeah, all right. My final answer, Robin. Good work, Oslo and Theo. Those 5 points are yours. Bremerton, not quite quick enough. Not quite quick enough. Oslo and Theo just beat you to it. Red Devil, glory, glory, Man United, glory, glory, Man United. Yeah, whatever. Moving on. So, Austin and Theo already got 5 points for yourself, having named Iron Robin as the guy that scored that second goal. Correct? Good job. Now the rules. This is similar to the previous format. 1 personality to your team per show, 5 clues, 1 guess. You can chat as much as you like, but you only get 1 guess per show. And as I always say, when you've got your guess, when you think you've got it right, you need to write it as my final answer is. If you go for my final answer and you get it wrong, we're going to ignore your second guess. We're going to ignore your third guess. It's only that first guess that counts. And finally, all guesses must be made in the FanTV app. Now, here's the difference. Here's the trick today compared to previous days. The first correct answer will win 3 bonus points. So it's still the same scoring as in previous shows, down here in this corner. 10 points if you get it on clue 1, 7 points if you get it on clue 2, 5 points on clue 3, 3 points on clue 4, or 1 point on clue 5. But if you get it first, if you're the first person to guess correctly, then we'll add an additional 3 points to your total. Going into tomorrow's show, which is the final show of the week, and off the back of that show, we'll give away some, we'll send a computer game wherever it is that you are, wherever you're living. So, without further ado, the Red Devil, we are the pride of Europe, the pride of the North. We hate the Cockneys and Leeds, of course, because we're Man United without any doubt. I don't know if that's meant to be a song. I didn't realise Man United fans could sing songs. I've been to Old Trafford. It's like a bloody graveyard. So, the scores on the doors, as it stands. As it stands coming into today, it was 14 points for Austin and Theo. Bremerton just behind with 12. Zangelet with 10 points. Schocker 7. Diff Victor 7. And Jurkin with 5. Given Austin and Theo guessed Robin first, quickest, he's already added 5 points to that total. So he's up to 19. A bit of a gap at the top of the table there. Bit of a Man City going on. But as I've already mentioned, there's a lot more points to play for today. You see in the bottom corner, we'll add 3 points to whoever guesses correctly when we start running into the clues. And again, it's different from yesterday because we're not looking for a person, we're not looking for a player, we're actually looking for a team. It could be any team in the world, any club in the world. The clues we give you are meant to lead to a club. I think we're ready. Clue number 1 for 10 points. I'm not good with that ball. The 90s are the only decade in which they haven't won their respective top division. So they've won their league in every decade of their existence, bar one, and that decade was the 90s. I got told off yesterday by making the first clue too difficult. I was told there had to be one person. Had you listened to me, there was one person. You just have to kind of weigh up all the clues and put them all together. But that one's quite definitive. They've won a championship in every decade of their existence, a league championship, the top division, bar one. And that decade was the 90s. I'll give you a moment to answer. What's the talk about United, Red Devil? It's a bit of a yawn fest again last night, wasn't it? I mean, those broadcasters always put Man United on, but I said yesterday that the game to watch was Roma Shakhtar, and it turned out to be that way. Bloody Man United. Probably going to do our ratings no good. Probably going to do our reviews that I asked you for on the Apple Store no good if you're a Man United fan. On the other hand, if you're a Chelsea fan, Arsenal fan, it might do me some good. So it works both ways. Östersund Arsenal tonight. I'd love that to be more of a game. I'd love there to have been more to play for. Fortunately, Arsenal just ran away with it. The fairy tale only lasted for so long. Anyway, We're going to move on shortly. The 90s, the only decade in which they haven't won their respective top division. 3, 2, 1. Next clue for 7 points. They broke the world record transfer fee for signing a player in both 1997 and 1999. It's amazing how transfer fees have moved on. I always think of Andy Cole moving across from Newcastle and being amazed by that fee back in the day. Bremerton. My final answer is Partizan Belgrade. It's unlikely that they broke the world record transfer fee for signing a player in 97 or 99. Might be true. I didn't hear about it though. So unfortunately, Bremerton, as loyal as you've been to this show, we're going to count you out now for any further guesses. You might be right. Might be right and you'll take home the points. But if you make any other my final answer guesses, we're not going to pay attention to them. Putting those two clues together. They've won their respective top division in every decade but the 90s, and they broke the world transfer record for signing a player in both 97 and 99. Shona, my final answer is Arsenal. Martel, my final answer is Real Madrid. Martin Fersen, my final answer is Inter. We've got 4 different guesses there. We're not going to announce if any of those are correct until the end. But as I've already said to you, we are going to add 3 points to whatever you would normally have taken home. So had you guessed correctly on this point, we'll add 3 points to that number and bump it up to 10. Had you guessed on 10 points, we would have bumped it up to 13. More to play for. So no final answer from Osler and Theo at the minute on this question. I'm going to move on. Osler and Theo, the current leader, is still holding on to his cards. Clue number 5. Really got to work on that ball. It's worth saying it's my fault clicking it and not waiting for the ball. So it's not our producer Bjorn's fault. It's my fault. So next question, next clue. Laurent Blanc, Christian Vieri and Yuri Djorkaeff played there. Still no further my final answers. No one else is prepared to throw their hat in the ring. Christian Vieri is always a player that really reminds me of the glory years when football was great. I mean, he was a bit of a nomad. And actually, for that reason, because he was a nomad, there was one point at which he cumulatively, he had acquired the most transfer fees ever by a long, long way. I think he even held the world transfer record at one stage. As far as I'm aware, it wasn't in 97 or 99, but I might be wrong. Tell me if I am wrong. Osler and Theo throwing his hat into the ring. So if I had Partizan Belgrade, Real Madrid, Arsenal and Inter so far, it might not even be one of those. There might still be an opportunity to take home the points plus 3 bonus points. And again, they share a stadium with their city rivals. That's a big clue. Journey, it's not going to be Arsenal, right? There was a lot of talk about it for a long time. Arsenal and Spurs might share a stadium, but really it's never going to happen. They wouldn't stand for that. Partizan Belgrade, don't know if they share a stadium or not. Real Madrid, they certainly don't share a stadium. Inter do share a stadium with AC. But is it the correct answer? You put all these together. Is that the correct answer? Or are we missing something? That first clue at the top there is amazing. Talk about success. That is a well-run club over the course of the last century. Man, my final answer, Arsenal. We thought he was drunk. He's definitely drunk. Same old Ant-Man. Final clue. Shit, hang on. There you go. Don't know if I pulled it off that time. Sorry, Bjorn. They are one half of Derby della Madonnina. Madonnina. I should really be able to pronounce that. I was in the city over Christmas and New Year, so I know that Madonnina, help me. Like, if this did audio, you could come back for something. But that is, that's the statue that sits on top of the cathedral in Milan. It's a very classic Milan song where they sing about it at some stage. So yeah, so here are all your clues. CM Fox, my final answer is Atletico Madrid. It's not correct, I'm afraid, CM Fox. And you've used your my final answer. Ant-Man went with my final answer, Inter, but he's already gone for my final answer, Arsenal. Again, no good. Robert, great pronounce. Goosebumps. Are the goosebumps related to the pronunciation, Robert, or is it how I say it? Is it the looks? Is it the way I look down the camera? So we've had guesses. The guesses we've had for these clues: Partizan Belgrade, Real Madrid, Arsenal, Inter, Atletico Madrid. Robert's got my final answer is Juve. My beautiful assistant has brought in some clues. Beautiful assistant. Does that top one include the 3 bonus? It doesn't. So I've got to add that. I've got to do maths. CM Fox, I'm new. I didn't read rules. Sorry. I feel for you, CM Fox. Come back tomorrow. Come back next week. The rules are tricky, but we've got to make it kind of as fair as you can for everyone that's watching. So, I'm going to give you 10 more seconds to come up with an answer. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, under 1. There is your correct answer. Inter Milan. I've got some queries about this, by the way, beautiful assistant. I'm not sure. I'll check in a minute. But yeah, Inter Milan, what a club. What a club to have won so many championships over the years. Won a decade apart from the 90s. I don't know who the manager was in the 90s. I want to say, was Lippi there in the 90s? I'm kind of clutching at straws. I'm probably wrong. But yeah, I'd hate to have been that manager. Jesus, you've really let the side down. 100 years of history, 120 years of history. And you're the only, he's probably not the only manager, he's the only set of managers that failed to bring home a Scudetta. Is it the Scudetta again? Serie A? Scudetta's the League Cup? I don't know. But yeah, great side. I mean, this one specifically is really cool with Luis Figo, Oli Decor, Patrick Vieira. Some very, very cool names. Hernan Crespo. Some guy called Zlatan. No idea who that bloke is. So yeah, Inter, the correct answer. Thank you for watching, guys. Let me just go through these. I know for a fact that Martin, let me see if I can find you. Martin Fearson, my final answer is Inter. That was the correct answer. And as you were the first to answer correctly, we bumped those 7 points that you won up to 10 points. So we're going to add 10 points to your total in the league table. As far as I'm aware, you hadn't previously won points, but I might be wrong. We'll go back and we'll do our maths. So that'll bump you up to 10. Oslo and Theo was lurking. He came in second on the third clue, which gives him 5 points, but no 3-point bonus because he wasn't the first to do so. And then Martel came in with my final answer, Inter, and 1 point. But I want to ask the question, Yeah, you see, my beautiful assistant made a mistake again, as far as I can see, because Martel 230 had already gone for my final answer, Real Madrid. So unfortunately, that one does not count. And I'm looking out the window of our studio, waiting for some kind of apology. I'm not getting it. There's nothing coming. They're laughing at me. That's all I'm getting back. So listen, Austin and Theo took home 5 points to start off with because he guessed Robin in the first question of today's show. Martin Fearson took home 7 points for guessing on the second clue in the second question. But because he was the first to do so, he takes home 10 points. So 10 points for Martin Fearson, 5 points for Austin and Theo. Thank you for watching, guys. We'll be back again tomorrow. I told you I'd do my homework and I'd know when it would be on tomorrow. I think it's 5 o'clock, but I'm not sure. But pay attention to your push notifications. We'll let you know when it's on. And yeah, by the end of tomorrow's show, we're going to be able to give away a prize, a computer game of whoever's choice. There's no doubt that Austin and Theo is in the driving seat at the minute. Tune in tomorrow to find out how it all plays out, how the story ends. Thanks for watching. Download the Fan TV app. It's the only way in which you can take part, and we'll see you next time.